Okay, what can we tell you? Set up very much for single-handed sailing. The lithium battery is charged by a choice of either the centre solar array There's my additional midships cleats, which is just a joy. Oh, and these, by the way, are the brand new windows, all four windows brand new. Coming across here, more control line cleats. These spin locks are just fabulous. I'm a great fan of these spin locks. They just work brilliantly. The two Lumar original equipment winches are on the cabin roof, but then you have my setup for single handing, which is the two brand new ones in the cockpit, which makes life very easy. And two stern cleats is very helpful as well in certain situations. If your spring, if you need to add a spring, or you're towing a tender or such like. That is the AIS antenna. That is the radar enhancement RTE. Let's just duck under the mast. There's its brand new Garmin Kit. This is so lovely. I mean, there's just so much information. I do wonder if you actually don't need the two instrument heads here, since you can put it all into the Garmin. I've just got to work that one out for myself as to whether these are actually superfluous now. Anyway, they're lovely. Lovely to work with and give you huge amounts of information. And the Plastimo magnetic compass there. There we go. Yeah, place for your winch handle. The two original cubby holes, which are very useful, and indeed which I wish our Westerly would have. Would be nice. The engine compartment down there, that's where we stow the engine. That over there is the electric point for the auto helm and the auto helm stanchion. Here is where all the mooring ropes, fenders and bucket go. Okay, so popping down below, when we're on extended deployment, I would strap a generator down here, although we've never really needed it since we've gone to a lithium battery, and that's where my kedge anchor goes, underneath that nice big area there. Okay, let's put that back to bed. Okay, just moving the slats out of the way. There's the galley, and underneath is all the stowage down there for all the cooking stuff. Another bit of stowage there for the kettle, teapot, etc. Underneath here you have the more stowage underneath that, and of course this entire length is free stowage, and these are our beautiful new covers and supremely comfortable cushions. These just wonderful night's sleep on these, so really like those. Quite like our brass lamps there, those we approve of. The DSC radio, panel. That's the RTE panel. That's the lithium battery status, USB outlet, and main battery isolator there, and a little weather station there. Okay, moving across to the starboard side, possibly one of my delights is underneath here, and there you have the NMEA 2K kit, and on the leading edge there, that is the attitude sensor, so that's really helpful, giving you true wind speeds and all sorts of more information on the Garmin. There we go. More stowage underneath there, another lamp, and more. There's LEDs under here. We have hard white LEDs underneath this section here for chart work, and we have richer, softer white here for general ambience lighting. There's the lifting keel winch, and there we have my Dyneema keel wire, which is infinitely superior to the wire original. That is the MPPT that controls the solar panels. There is your selector for the solar panels, currently switched to the starboard side. If you put it to the middle, then it's off, and if you put it to the port side, then it's the central one. Spare fuses and the wiring block in there, and that hole there is bespoke for the cooler box and its lashing. Okay, there's a whisker pole, there's a spinnaker pole, and of course the boom, and the horseshoe. Lithium battery snugly down there, and forward of that is where I keep the anchor shape and motoring shape. So that's where the beautiful, elegant, tiny, relatively tiny little lithium battery is sitting there. Couple more bits of original stowage there for bits and pieces. Looking back here, that's the back of the Garmin, and my ready reference there. There we go. That's that. Stowage starboard there for the winch handles, auto helm, and similar on the port side. Well, that's kind of it, really, isn't it? There we go. I mean, SYLKIE's been a gorgeous yacht, and I have to say I feel very guilty about selling her, but we've had good fun. I've enjoyed investing in her. It really has paid dividends, and I'd be surprised if there's a better fitted out Anderson. Yes, better. It might be equal, it might be slightly different, but there's not one that's got better kit. All those new Dick Bat sails are fantastic and still crinkly. They're new enough to be crinkly, they haven't gone soft. There's a cruising chute and a spinnaker supplied with. Really, just fabulous yacht. I mean, I've been out in 5s and 6s. Don't think I've been out in a 7. I think I'd remember. And to be honest, reefed down, she was a fine boat to be in. Never really felt uncomfortable. You know, I never felt uncomfortable in her. Well, there we go. Yes, of course, that we saw earlier, that copper coat hull, which really makes life very easy, particularly on this east coast where we are tended to be regarded as one of the most fouling rivers, as in hull fouling. The rivers are clean enough, but there's a lot of hull fouling down here, and it really does last about 2 months, whereas anti-foul lasts about 1 month before needing to be cleaned off. Well, I think that's probably enough I've told you about here. There's just so much to be said, and I've only covered a tiny bit of it, but she's my lovely yacht, and if only I could persuade my daughters, I would keep it and hand it over to them, but neither of them are interested, so it's got to go. Okay, this is a bit especially for Liz, our guardrails. So as I say, out of Dyneema, I've put an eye plate there, goes back to that stanchion, and then back to the push pit, and at the push pit, the lower is just on with a shackle, the upper is on with a pelican there. So just going back the other way, there we go along there, and then it tapers down to the eye plate. Then the forward one, eye plate at the front of the cabin, goes out to a pyramid effectively on that stanchion, and then front to the pulpit, and just a round turn there.